Irfan Razack joins us now, and I must, with a lot of pride, share with you, sir, that I was at one of your office buildings in Mumbai yesterday. Just a coincidence. I didn't know you were coming on the show, and I went there, and I must say that the new office block at Mahalakshmi, what a breathtaking view. For a brand which had zero presence in Mumbai, in 5 years, you've really demonstrated ability to scale up in a market which is a difficult market. So kudos. I mean, my day starts with Prestige. Hopefully, it will end with Prestige logo now.
Thank you so much for those lovely words. Yes, we are at it. We are focused. There's a big team that is there, and that really is up to doing work.
So, just to walk us through what is happening to demand trends now. I mean, we've got these crazy numbers of how Mumbai real estate has gone. Similar parallels have been drawn in Bangalore now. And just when we've questioned the affordability in India because of the economic slowdown, the real estate demand and the real estate pricing is absolutely stunning. So can I say that in the markets you are in and the projects which you currently are involved in, there is no slowdown?
I think the slowdown is just not been there in the sense that things are good. As long as we are able to offer a good product at a good price, things will be definitely going on well. Now and there is the biggest and the most positive thing is people are committing themselves and keep surprising us also, and at some huge levels, like you talked about the latest deal that's doing the rounds in the market, and that's pretty huge. But I believe still we shouldn't let ourselves get away, and we should keep ourselves focused on seeing who's the buyer and trying and building a good product at a good price. Things will anyway keep going on, and the focus should be delivery all the time. Like you rightly said, once we're able to give delivery, that confidence will remain.
Right. Mr. Razack, hi, good morning. Good to be speaking with you. And, the question on everyone's mind is, now that you have this sizable 598 acre of land bank, what portion of this is going to be monetized in the next 2 to 3 years?
See, it's all work in progress right now. Apart from that land bank, which you see on that sheet, what we really have is we've got almost 60,000 crores worth of inventory that can come to market in the next 12 to 18 months. In fact, I reviewed that personally. Why I'm saying that, qualifying it, is because it's all depending on the approval process and how long does that take. So that itself is pretty substantial. And then it's business is dynamic. We keep on every day something interesting comes up, something that you can commit to, and then we keep picking up, and then it goes on. So we've reached a certain threshold, and I think it's quite a job to try and sustain that. And that is what is most important now when we've reached that 20K mark plus top line revenue. I think the teams really have to work hard over time to see that they not only sustain it and grow on that at a decent number.
Let's understand in terms of the way to understand real estate numbers, and I'm breaking it for our viewers, Mr. Razack, is that you have to look at not quarter on quarter, because that is a function of delivery, that is a function of how the revenue booking is done. So for somebody who's, let's say, wants to understand the trajectory and how the profitability would grow, what is the benchmark they should look at? Should they look at new launches? Should they look at number of million square feet you're selling? Should they look at the pricing in that market? What is the benchmark for somebody who wants to invest in your stock to look at when it comes to quarterly numbers?
I think that's a fantastic point, because I think what somebody really needs to look at is the overall capability of launching and what quarter top line revenue comes. Because this quarter on quarter top line revenue translates to profits 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line. But then if I've got that quarter on quarter revenue booked in, that means it's going to translate to that number coming into my P&L account and into my balance sheet. Now that's as far as residential business is concerned. Now, as far as you've got office, you have to see how much more office we are building and what's the cap rate. and what will be the revenue for the company. And it goes on for retail as well as for hospitality. So having said that, if you're looking only at residential business, today the company has uh, quite a substantial amount of unbooked revenue in the books, where the sales have been done, contracts have been signed with customers, construction is going on, but this revenue will come and hit the P&L account only on delivery. So our focus should be to see that we keep delivering. Of course, there can't be any other way but to deliver. Like I'm happy to say, you talked about Mumbai in your opening remarks. We completed 3 projects in Mumbai day before yesterday. One was the office turf tower, which is the Prestige turf tower in Mahalakshmi. The other one was in Baikala, Prestige Judson Classic. And this I'm saying with the occupancy certificate. And then we've got the one tower in Mulund, the Prestige City, the Siesta Tower, which is ready. We had an inauguration. I just couldn't, I was so happy to see happy faces. All our customers who were there in Mulund, they were actually thrilled and they were grateful. So that is what probably keeps us going. And that is what will keep us do more. And the message to the teams is keep delivering, and the rest will keep following.
Mr. Razack, given the fact that you have 25 projects lined up for FY26 as well, give us some sense that what will it do to your numbers, and along with that, any guidance on the margin specifically if you can help us with, because on one hand we believe that the cost of construction is rising a bit and you have aggressive launch pipeline as well.
The cost of construction is definitely going up, especially the biggest challenge for us is labor. All our contractors are hit by shortage of labor, and that's a big concern. But in spite of that, somehow or the other, with technology and all of that, we are moving on and we are trying to meet the timelines. The other part is that now how much of it can get monetized in a particular in a financial year. We did 17,000 plus crores of top line revenue in the past fiscal. In this fiscal, this quarter itself, we've got a big pipeline and we've had some big launches, and that's going to this quarter is going to be a record quarter in terms of launches and sales. But I think around 25 to 27,000 could be a fair number to estimate and to say that we are going to do that year on year and then grow on that. I think that's a fair number that should happen. And I think from there on, that's a benchmark and a base that for the company to grow.
Razack, when I met you in December in Bangalore in your offices, you were telling me that the best real estate investment advice is buy a commercial property in Bangalore in the IT hub. Does that change now? Because you're everywhere. Mumbai, residential, commercial, NCR as well has had a fabulous debut for you.
I think it's about the question that you asked is for investment to get some rental income. We are doing that for a lot of customers in Bangalore. And now, unfortunately, it's just become so expensive. And the capital value has gone up. Rentals are not catching up, but I think still it's a fair thing to invest in commercial real estate to get steady rental income. And that's happening in Bangalore. And I believe whoever has invested with us is pretty happy and they get their rentals month on month, and which is a good feeling for us.
Now, I'll understand. If one really looks at the Prestige, the listed entity, there is residential, there is commercial, and then there are malls, which means you have a very large portfolio which also will be giving you rental yields. What would be a cash flow from purely rent in next 3 years?
Yeah, now just to add up, there's also hospitality now, which we are trying to hive off into a separate listed entity very soon. We filed the DRHP for that. Now, if you ask me, as far as the for retail malls by 2029, we should have I think, exit rental of about 1,000 crores. Similarly, for in 2029 for office, we should have an exit rental around 3,000 crores. So we are heading towards that. And I don't see any doubts on that. And that I'm telling you all this based on the type of work that is happening in the construction that's happening. And that's a substantial amount of top line revenue that will come from these. And here in this category, is almost 90% of the top line becomes income because there's no expenditure against it except for depreciation and if there's any interest on it.
Now, to understand the mix of your margins, because you moved out of Bangalore, some would say that, look, that was prestigious comfort area, more like their backyard where they know every gully, every nukkad, they know every pin code. But when you come to Bombay, it's a different market which is at play. Dynamics are different. The local challenges are different. The local authorities are different. So when you come to Bombay, will that impact your aggregate margin? Will that go down because you want to grow, so you will have to compromise on your margins?
See, every city is different, and Mumbai, of course, is very different. In Mumbai, the biggest challenge is the premiums and the cost of getting approvals itself. But I think we've learned that the team, we've understood that very well. And the margins in Mumbai also actually probably once we start completing, we'll realize it, are much larger because the overall capital values are higher. And I mean, it's only time will tell us. I believe we are looking more at doing a good job, and the bottom lines we have to protect them. And as of today, we're getting a great EBITDA margin. On that, if we are able to make sure the PAT margins are in double digit, we'll be happy whichever city we are in.
So, Mr. Razack, as we look into the future, for somebody who wants to invest in a prestige stock, wants to understand that, okay, you know, I want to make this as a portfolio stock, what is that one promise you will give?
Now, this promise I've been giving again and again is we are doing focused activity. We are not letting our eye off the ball, not getting bowled out. Third thing is we are confident on delivering, and that's our only thing that we have to do. Whatever we start, we have to reach the end and give a good product. With this, most important is the management processes, the management systems, and the people that are involved, committed team. So I think with all this, all the ingredients are good, and with that, I don't think anything can go wrong. And of course, following the code, following the whichever city or in the proper laws, I don't see any stress at all. The only thing that can happen is good. Yes, there will be certain times things may be a little slow depending on the markets. But as of today, things are really, really bright, really good. And I think the best is yet to come.
Okay, Mr. Razack, always such a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you for your time today.
So much. Lovely.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.